All right. So, like we talked about after the game, thought the guys fought hard and competed the entire time. Just we gotta find a way to play better football earlier in the game, play it throughout, get control of the game. Um, we've gotten the lead in all three games, but yet seemingly haven't necessarily played the game that way for the entirety of the 60 minutes. And um, thought there was some really good things defensively. Thought we did some things to disrupt them, create some negative situations, which was a point of emphasis. Thought they really hung in there and gave us an opportunity to keep trying to get back into it. And but ultimately, didn't run the ball very well. Turned the ball over against them. That's always a bad formula. So got a lot of things we got to clean up and fix, and that's what we'll be working on today.
Devontae expressed an urgency,
Mm-hmm.
no longer time to talk about it, but actually be about it and do it. Not really in the mood to be waiting around for that thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you share that sentiment, and was he within his lane, basically, to speak?
Yeah, I think he just, at some point you want to be, you want to have it instead of be learning it, and I think we're all trying to compete and win. And I know where he's coming from, and I think we have a lot of guys that are coming from that same perspective. And it's frustrating when you put a lot into it and don't get the results you're looking for. So I understand exactly where he's coming from.
Last night, Jimmy Garoppolo was being evaluated for concussion.
Yeah, he's in the protocol. He's in the protocol.
Are there any concerns that in the fourth quarter about his situation?
There was nothing ever mentioned, Vic, or talked about relative to that. I'm not even sure what hit, or if it was just accumulation of. I have no idea. There was never a conversation about that. So I'm not sure exactly, and I haven't seen him yet this morning, so I'm not exactly sure when it took place, or if it was just a culmination of things.
So you're preparing for Poyer to maybe be the starter?
Well, we'll prepare for everybody. We got to, obviously that would change things relative to Aiden also if Jimmy was not able to progress through the protocol to be able to play. So, we'll be hard at work to probably, manage that situation the best we can as it progresses through the week.
Josh, Jimmy has done some kind of uncharacteristic things for Jimmy Garoppolo. Is there, when you watch the film, is there anything that you kind of put your finger on, and is it maybe a product of going from one offense to another and not having the?
No, I don't. I'm not gonna speculate or make excuses about that. I think at there's certain times in every game where a quarterback, doesn't have what he wants to have available on a certain play, and each quarterback in the league goes through this every Sunday, and you have to make those split-second decisions, to either, put the ball into the ground or put it out of bounds, or, sometimes take a sack, sometimes scramble, whatever it might be, and we can't put trying to make a play above doing the right thing at times, and there's a fine line. He scrambled a few times yesterday and made some plays and kept some plays alive. And then there's some other times where you just got to make a good decision. But that's playing quarterback in the NFL, and he's done it well before. And we need to do that. We need to play turnover free, and we haven't really played a total complementary game yet because we haven't played a game without turnovers. And, if we can do that, see what the result is, and then maybe we can hit repeat and do that, a handful more times, that would be a good place for us to start.
You mentioned how you like the effort of the defense, and, they were really good against stopping the run. Adam Butler, John Jenkins were two guys that got a couple more snaps. What have you seen throughout the season, just throughout the week going into the game, that earned them those reps?
Yeah, Jank played really well. He's a pro's pro, works his butt off in practice, does it with the right technique, understands his role and his job. Difficult to block in there. He's a big guy, but he plays with the right, attitude, technique, mindset. Adams, same thing. He's younger, but very much a pro. understands his role, does a lot of dirty work, trying to be disruptive to maybe help others be disruptive, if you will. I think we got decent. I think we got a decent level of play from a lot of guys yesterday defensively. Again, we gave up, a couple of big plays, but I thought they stopped them, and gave us an opportunity, multiple times there in the second half to try to mount some element of a comeback.
I know you talked about the turnovers that you've committed. You haven't been able to force any yet at this point. I know it's a big point of discussion over the offseason. Is there something you guys need to do, being more aggressive, or I guess what can?
We're trying to. I mean, we blitzed a bunch yesterday, as you saw. I thought we had a number of guys punching at the ball, attempting to strip the ball. I thought we had a chance to get our hands on one or two yesterday, and I think we're making efforts to do all those things. I know our guys are. I'm seeing them on the field do it. And I think we got to keep at it, obviously, and sometimes they come in waves, and we're just waiting for our wave, and so, but we got to make it happen. We got to go make plays, make disruptive plays, create situations where people are under pressure or duress to try to force them, to get loose with the ball or throw it to us. So I thought we had a number of opportunities yesterday, got our hands on some footballs. We're going to need to get some of them to turn our way.
Seen specific things on tape about the run game or the offensive line, or is it just kind of different week to week?
Yeah, I think it just starts with us being able to put a body on a body. There was a number of them in the second half where we did that, and bam, we're 7-8 yards a carry, on those plays. But it's where it always starts, in pass protection and in the running game. If you get a hat on them, then you usually have a chance to get the runner started. But I would say through 3 games, it's probably been everybody's taken a turn at maybe not necessarily being as precise or perfect with their job. So it's going to be details, it's going to be work, it's going to be a team thing. Running the ball is never one guy's job. It's going to be the job of everyone at the point of attack, and then across the board, our receivers got to block. So, it just no shortcut to it. We got to put in more work, more time. There was evidence of it being done well yesterday at times, but just not enough, not consistent enough.
Do you take from that last part of the fourth quarter, where there was complimentary football defensively, obviously the run game, the pass game? You take anything from that?
Yeah, I mean, you take something from everything. I mean, and I love the way we were fighting and competing. It sure as hell wasn't perfect yesterday for us in terms of putting ourselves in a hole, and I thought our guys fought back, had a chance to do some things there in the fourth quarter. I thought our defense really stopped them when we needed to give ourselves enough opportunities with the possessions to get back into it. But that's great. But we're all, like Devontae said, and we're looking for more consistency so that we avoid putting ourselves in that position to begin with, so that we can have an opportunity to win.
I know you addressed the 4th down field goal decision last night, but is that a decision that you go back and forth with, or is it just one that's just?
I think it's fair. It's fair to be critical of it. I'm not saying I would do it different, but I understand both sides, and that's what I was going through in my mind too, is trying to evaluate both scenarios. Again, you can say I was wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was 100%, an easy decision. I did feel like with the timeouts and the 2-minute warning, that we had enough opportunity to stop them and go ahead and get the ball back and put ourselves in position to win the game. So that was my thought process. It had nothing to do with, not believing in, we had a play that would work or whatever. It just, that's what, went for it a number of times yesterday on 4th down as it is. I think we've gone for it in every game on 4th down at some point. So not averse to doing that. I just, that was the decision that I made in that situation.
4th and 5 earlier in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Was that play?
No, it didn't affect it. I felt like I felt like we kind of knew what we would probably get, and they did a better job on that one than we did of executing that. But no, it didn't. One didn't have necessarily much to do with the other one. Like I said, I could see both sides of it, as you guys did.
On a personal level on that, like the last 14 hours has been everywhere you look, it's dissecting a decision that you made. I mean, is that hard to stay away from? Is that something you can tune out?
Yeah, I haven't been online, and my TV hasn't been on a whole lot. I mean, it's not. I'm not avoiding it. I just been working and trying to, go through our stuff. I get it. Like I said, I understand both sides of the equation. And had we stopped them on third down on defense and had the ball with 2 minutes to go, it is what it is. That's football. Sometimes you make a decision and it works out for the best, and sometimes you make one and it does not. So. I like I said, I can see both sides of it.
That third down play, was that just a miscommunication between the two safeties in that third down play? Or
Which one are you talking about?
Well,
On the last one,
yeah.
on the 4-minute defense? Yeah, I mean, we were pressuring to try to create, because it was short enough where they could have run the ball, clearly. So we were pressuring to try to at least try to be disruptive as we could in the running game. And in that situation, we get down there on them tighter. We could have made a different call, you know what I mean, to try to do that. But obviously, that giving up a completion in that situation is not what we wanted to do. So, but we got to coach that and do a better job of making sure that we help those guys be aware of that situation as it is in the 4-minute defense.
Obviously, throughout 3 games, kind of had ups and downs as a rookie corner, but Jacorian. Now, how daunting do you think it is for him to be kind of that guy on the outside as a rookie? And how do you think he's been handling it?
I think he's handled it very well. He comes in and prepares really hard every day. He's doing a really good job of getting into a routine with his body and making sure he's ready to go every day physically, along with mentally. I think he's really been trying to soak in some of the education from guys like Marcus Peters and Epps and those guys that have played a lot of football and understand what it takes. So JB's been up to the challenge. He's learning every game. There's going to be some really good plays, and then there's going to be some things he'll learn from relative to mistakes. But I trust his process. I trust his maturity, and I trust his desire to improve and get better as we go through the course of the season. And I think the reps are only going to help him.
I think Tyree had 11 snaps. Is that tied to the health thing?
Yeah, I mean, just relative to being able to come off of that and then be able to play, I'd say it's wind more than anything else.
I know a lot will go into the decision on who plays quarterback if Jimmy can't go. But is there some value in maybe using that opportunity to get a bigger picture of a young quarterback like Aiden to get a feel for him, sense for him for the long range over maybe what the short term is?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll try to do the right thing for the team this week for sure, no matter what it is, whatever that ultimately ends up being. So, if part of that, we're not going to use this like it would be a preseason game. You know what I mean? So if the best thing for the team would be to do something down that road, then we would discuss that and consider it. But we haven't, begun those conversations yet. We will obviously today.
All set? All right, thanks.
Good. Thank you.